All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Astronauts Star Circuit. Now, before we get into our grand finals match, which we're getting set up right now, I want to kind of go over that roadmap we talked about earlier in the show that kind of is or encompasses the Astronauts Star Circuit. So, as you can see here, the December qualifier number one, we're kind of working our way through that. So here's a little bit of what you can expect, with season one going forward. So, teams competing tonight are going to be earning points that carry over throughout the season. So as you can see on the left there, 10 events spanning kind of September through April, and then towards the right, $30,000 plus in cash and prizes available. And towards the bottom of the screen there, you kind of get a better idea of how long it's going to last, the qualifiers that are going to be taking place in each month. So you got, one in December, a couple in January, a couple in February, and then those will all culminate into April. With a $10,000 finals on the line. So that's kind of what's at stake, or what the Star Circuit is in a little bit of a nutshell. And again, if you're more curious, you want to find out more, or you just want to kind of track the point standings going forward, follow us at Team Beyond Net on Twitter. That's kind of where you can see those standings, results, and links where you can check everything out and register yourself to compete, because you've got a chance at kind of earning those points throughout the season and perhaps making your way to that $10,000 grand final. But back to tonight. We'll talk about tonight's bracket a little bit. Again, $2,000 on the line for tonight alone. $1,500 going to be going to our champion. $500 going to be going to our runner-up. And those two teams that have found themselves in the grand finals tonight are the Pittsburgh Knights and Spacestation Gaming. Both teams, if you were watching earlier, pretty aggressive teams. Not afraid to get a little physical out there on the pitch, and I think that's going to lead to a very exciting grand finals tonight.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of speed in this particular grand final. Both teams like to play fairly fast, and they like to get quite physical too. So I'm expecting to see at least a lot of bumps. Maybe not necessarily demos because everybody's moving so fast. Potentially more double demos. We saw a couple tonight.
Yeah.
A little more rare. I love seeing them too because it just throws everyone for a loop. But the Knights looking super strong. A Space Station looking great, but I think this one will be the test for them for sure. They didn't have an easy route through the bracket per se,
Right.
but the Knights, in my opinion, had a little bit of a rougher way through the bracket.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, not necessarily, but that first semifinal was a definite test for them. And now they come up against the real test because the pressure has now at least significantly increased due to the fact that this one is for the money. This is the big one.
Yeah, a lot
And
more
for,
riding on
and
the
for
line.
the most points, too.
Yeah, that's another thing that it kind of adds a layer to what's at stake here tonight when you think of the Star Circuit in terms of the points and not only the prize money that's on the line, too, the $2,000 prize pool and the points now as well. So, the Pittsburgh Knights going up against Rogue was a little bit more back and forth. I think a little bit more hard fought, whereas Space Station Gaming seemed to have a little bit of an easier time getting over RBG Esports. RBG Esports threw a couple of different looks at them that they struggled with, and there were some signs of life and some signs of some really brilliant plays out of them.
Sure.
But Space Station just a little bit more consistent, able to answer back a little bit more easily than I think the Pittsburgh Knights had going up against Rogue. So we'll have to see if that, wore the Knights out a little bit because they definitely did look solid. But Space Station, I would give it to them in the consistency department tonight. So, yeah, the way these two teams are going to square off is going to be interesting as we get this lobby set up. Looks like we're almost all set to get the grand finals underway. But, Ninja Rider, anything kind of predictions-wise or you wanted to touch on before we get started?
Like I said, speed. I'm looking for speed. I fully expect this first game to be a bit of a feel-out process, a little bit more than we saw previously. Both teams trying to figure out how the other team is going to play this particular grand finals, and then from about halfway through this game all the way through to the end is just going to be an absolute monstrosity of a grand final.
Yeah. And again, Grand Finals best of 7, so plenty of games left on tonight's plate. Knights versus Space Station. Going to be interesting to see, how it all shakes out. Because, the Knights, too, were able to kind of come out very organized, very textbook, very, pass play positioning. And then towards the end of the series against Rogue, they kind of switched it up, started to get a little bit more aggressive, and were able to get some key bumps that opened up some goals for him there. Whereas Space Station Gaming kind of just came out that single-tone aggressive nature. So here we go. Countdown and kickoff is underway. Grand Finals, Pittsburgh Knights going up against Space Station Gaming in the Astronauts Star Circuit. Here's Gyro, gets a touch towards the orange net. Nothing crazy going to develop there. Zipkel able to get a touch. Reynolds with the touch goes up towards Arsenal. AXB tries to get that one towards the blue side. It's going to be missed in a good position to get the touch, and then off of the sidewall tries to knock it away. Nothing crazy developing there. A little bit of a miss flip gives Sipical an opportunity. AXB's there for a potential follow-up, but no. Gyro with a big knockdown range. Going to force Arsenal to go up for it. And I think Curtis, this is a little bit of that feel-out process you mentioned, but Sipical, will it find the net? No!
Yeah, a little bit. Teams are a little bit spread out, trying to get their bearings, figure out if they're going to be able to do some passing plays or just ball control, or just try a couple of things, see what sticks to the wall, at least for now. But we're starting to see the aggression coming from Mist. That will pay off nicely. The Knights getting really aggressive, move that ball onto the offense, and it worked out perfectly this time out, as Sipical just could not quite hang with how Gyro attacked that particular play.
Yeah, that little hang-up kind of gave Mist an opportunity there, and he was able to take it. And I want to mention, of course, you called it earlier. You're like, hey, maybe we'll see some double demos in like a minute into game number 1. Double demo up in the feed, so that was definitely a good call on your part there. Here we see Mist trying to make something happen again. Yeah, credit where credit is due, for sure.
I said something that came true?
Yeah,
Holy
unlike
cow.
me, whereas I don't do that anymore because it's just the opposite effect. But as long as one of us is able to find some success in our predictions tonight, I'm happy. If you win, I win. That's how I feel.
Is that how we're going with this? All right.
I'm just taking credit for your win is all I'm doing, really. That was just a nice way of me saying it.
Hey, we're a team. That's how we roll.
Absolutely. Speaking of teams, there's this absolute segue for you here. Space Station Gaming struggling a little bit against the Pittsburgh Knights, and I wonder if a little bit of the more intense battle that they had with Rogue, but actually there it is. Sipical with that speed, able to find this shot, set it up, and tie it up at ones here.
A beautiful pass though from Arsenal. He took control in his own corner, kept the speed up, and was able to get the splash down. 80-mile-an-hour, basically fastball, coming right at that blue net. There wasn't going to be any stop in that particular play, so tied up at 1, and just couldn't get there in time. AXB.
Yeah, good stuff out of AXB, just able to find that one, squeak it by 2 people. Like, I didn't even catch that. It happened so quick off the initial kickoff, but that went, I think, right between, what was it, Gyro and Reynolds there?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Just unfortunate timing on their part. A second more or a second less, and they had that stop, but that gives Space Station Gaming the 1-goal lead here early on into game number 1 of this best of 7. There's Gyro up into the hands of Sipical now. Arsenal off the wall, centers it up. Sipical sends it up. Back in possession of Arsenal. Grabs some boost. Back up top, off the ceiling. Can Arsenal get this by Reynolds? No, but AXB, a little follow-up. Wow. He hit the pause button on that one.
That, kids, is why you don't give up on a save.
Yeah. Absolutely great stop out of the Pittsburgh Knights there. Space Station Gaming kind of keeping up with that consistency that we saw in semifinal number 2. Arsenal tries to get it over Reynolds. Gyro, though, in the corner. Gets bumped by Arsenal. Sets up Sipical. Sends it towards the opposite post. It's going to be AXB knocking it back up towards center. Mist tries to knock it down, but AXB already wrapped around and is back on it now. Now a fight in the corner between AXB and Gyro. Gyro and Reynolds now up on the side. Well, AXB again. I feel like the last 6 touches have been from AXB and have been like diverting the course that the Pittsburgh Knights have been wanting to take.
And he's coming from behind, too. AXB is just on fire.
Another touch.
Got the prediction going for him completely, actually. So Space Station looking really strong, and they're not backing down either. They're getting demos left and right, all kinds of physicality coming out. And everybody had to kind of just take a breath there for a second.
Yeah, totally.
Including us. Jeez.
Yeah, and I think it was a good heads-up play. Yeah, Gyro again taking out AXB, realizing how much he is stopping the Pittsburgh Knights. Missed again with the demo on Arsenal. The non-stop demos coming out here with 1 minute remaining here in game number 1. The Pittsburgh Knights want to make something happen. There's AXB putting that one towards the net. Reynolds now has to get up and get this cleared. Mist comes underneath him to knock it towards the orange side of the pitch. Missed with a demo onto Typical. Arsenal flies through with the save. 45 seconds now left on the clock. Pittsburgh Knights got to get something going here. 1 goal down still to Space Station. Reynolds sends it back towards the orange side of the pitch. Typical's there on the back wall to clear it back out again.
You know, Michael Bay would be proud of this last 5 minutes.
This looks like the ending of every Transformers movie ever, as Reynolds tries to get it past Typical, but no. He's going to be up for the touch. AXB with another bump. No demo this time. Gyro and Mist, though, for the Pittsburgh Knights. Both trying to make something happen with that play. Arsenal a demo onto Gyro now. This is hands down the most demos I've ever seen in quick succession.
Yeah, I've lost count.
Yeah, in a grand final. It's got to be, I don't know. I don't have enough fingers to count how many times there's been demos.
Oh, wait a minute. Chance. Gyro up for this. Reynolds has to come up and take over. He didn't get the touch. Oh.
An explosive start for Space Station Gaming, to say the least.
Explosive, definitely. Like I said, Michael Bay would be extremely proud of the last 5 minutes of play there. I don't get to pull out the Michael Bay analogy all that often anymore, so I'm glad.
Space Station Gaming giving you that one, for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I mean, look at the shots. Space Station did take a couple more shots. Typical coming in handy again. But both teams really bringing it.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
They didn't slow down at all. They just kept going for it and going for it. Absolutely.
No, yeah.
Well done.
I feel like the feel out in game number 1 lasted about 30 seconds, and then
30 seconds, yep.
The feel out became, I'm running my car through you. Gonna be interesting to see if the Pittsburgh Knights can adjust. I feel like in the first series, they came out pretty strong initially against Rogue, but then Rogue caught up to them, and I'm not sure if they were just ready for the aggression that Space Station Gaming was just going to bring out of the gate. We'll see here as Mist tries to carry this one past AXB. Sypical with a little touch, but Gyro there waiting. Another bump from Gyro onto Sypical. Reynolds on the blue half. Going to clear this one out. Mist to Gyro now. Gyro up, going to be off the ceiling. Sypical off the backboard, gets it clear. Reynolds, though, tries to send it across to Mist. Mist with the demo onto AXB.
That was beautifully timed. That completely slowed down the offense of Space Station. So well done. And there are tactical demos. You don't just do it. I mean, it is fun. You don't do it just because it's fun. But that was perfectly. It was absolutely perfect. I'm stunned.
Arsenal now demo onto Reynolds, gives way for Sypical. Sypical the bump onto Mist. Gets him out of the way. I don't know what bumps are anymore, man. We just blow stuff up out here, apparently. It's the grand finals of the Star Circuit, the kickoff tournament. Let's just demo everything. There's Sypical with a little flip, with a little bump onto Mist, sends it up towards Arsenal, but Gyro with a nice clear in the hands of AXB now, almost sends it down underneath Arsenal, who's able to get that little dunk play. No bounce, though, in his favor. Good pass, but even better defense. Another shot, going to be crossbarred. AXB up. Gyro had a great attempt to try to get that one in. AXB versus Mist now. Into the corner, Arsenal up for it. Sypical there. Off the backboard, Gyro with a little bit of a miss, perhaps. Mist sends it up towards Reynolds. Is there a follow-up? Arsenal sends that one to his teammate, who's able to send it downfield.
Sypical and Reynolds are stuck together.
I feel like
stuck in the orange net.
Still there? Oh, still there.
They're still there. Yeah, no, they're still there. This turned into a 2v2.
This is twos now. What an interesting strategy. Make it a 2v2. They're still there.
Yeah, no, they're not going to let go either.
Never let go. So here we go. This 2v2 match has been very interesting. Are they still there?
2v2 is brought to you by ASTRO Gaming.
Are they still there?
They're still there.
This is insane. This is the best grand final ever, and I'm calling it out. They're still there.
No, they're still there as the ball passes over him. Arsenal looking to get some control. Gyro does spawn onto the correct side, takes the demo again. So AXB is back. Gonna pick this up and leaves the two to their own devices, I suppose.
Gobsmacked right now.
Gyro's up. Nice little block out. So now we've surpassed halftime. And that'll break it up as Arsenal takes the shot and off the crossbar goes right in.
I can't even believe that. That is the... just for context, Star Circuit, kickoff tournament, points on the line, $2,000 on the line, and they spent about 2 minutes tied up in net. I love that. So there's Mist with a demo onto Arsenal. Again, this is the most demos on record, I think, of an Astronauts event, period. AXB, a little touch there. Arsenal now with Mist in the corner. Gyro, the demo onto Sipical. This is just fun. Ball into the orange corner. Or, I'm sorry, blue corner. Gyro is there. Arsenal gets it by another couple of bumps. Everyone, it's bumper cars at this point under the blue net. Sipical bumps up. AXB, bump missed.
See how he took control of the ball. So at the same time, he goes for the bump, but he was able to get some control on that ball. So they're definitely, I mean, they're not necessarily planning out the bump or anything, but they're going for it with the thought that they're going to get control of the ball again too. So that's what I mean by tactical. You know, not just going for it here, but Missed on a nice carry from across the pitch to tie this one up. AXB was there. It's one of the reasons why I didn't call it, because AXB was there. I fully expected the block.
Yeah.
And he just mistimed that a little bit, and there you go. We're tied up at 1 with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, so game number 2. 30 remaining. AXB and Reddles up for it. Sipical there to land on it. Nice from him. Gets it by Mist. Reddles is there, thankfully, to defend, but Sipical retaliates. Gets the demo onto Reddles, just for being in my way. Arsenal now up for it. Gyro off the backboard. Gets the clear. Sipical on the sidewall, though. Carries that one into the blue corner, but that was met by Mist, who sends it to himself. Gyro now sends that one to the side. Sipical, demo onto Mist. Sipical and Reddles in the corner. Arsenal tries to flip that one past Gyro, unable to do so. So here's Gyro versus AXB. AXB up to Sipical. Reddles demo onto AXB. Can Sipical carry it past everyone? That's a tall ask.
Yeah, no, it really was, especially because the Knights were all over each other at that point, too. They're just completely swarming the ball as Gyro goes for the shot. Sipical there looking for the pass. AXB got hassled, so Sipical has to follow up. And 30 seconds left. It's still anyone's game.
I'm just wondering if everything is okay. It's been about 15 seconds and no one's been demoed yet. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Gyro onto Sipical. Yeah, that makes more sense. I was getting worried. So here's Arsenal versus Gyro. In that orange box, bit of a battle, bit of a scrap. AXB, though, going to try to carry this one up. Mist is there, though. 5 seconds remaining, still tied at 1s. Will we see an OT in game number 2?
Possible.
Reddles wanted that one.
Wait a minute.
Arsenal, a little bit of a touch. AXB is up for it. Tries to send that one to the center, but it is OT.
And we have
overtime in game number 2. I mean, the physicality of this game is unmatched. Pittsburgh Knights versus Spacestation Gaming. I thought it would be this kind of match, and I am so happy it is this kind of match, because it's been so explosive to watch in both the literal and metaphorical sense.
You're right. Oh man, no, it really has. And honestly, it's actually been very even.
Yeah. Oh,
except for that.
Sipical though. He's been like one of those he comes in so quick, and even did this in the second semifinal, just finding those angles to where the defense doesn't even have time to adjust. I mean, he's like a blink and you miss it kind of shot out of him, and he's done that consistently throughout all these matches.
And under normal circumstances, a third man wouldn't take that shot. Both of his teammates were completely dedicated to the play. One was headed off for boost after hassling in the net, and then the other one was taking the shot. Usually as a third guy, you wait for someone to start coming back before you even challenge. Mm-hmm. He's not even doing that. He's just going for it.
Yeah.
It's in any other circumstance, it probably wouldn't work. But in something like this, because everybody's playing so aggressive, you can be that aggressive and it will work out. You just got to have faith in yourself and to know that you're going to score the shot.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things like, hey, it's been working for him all night, so why would he stop now, right? He's been able to make those rotations, find those shots, and hit them consistently. So it's just kind of another tool in Space Station's toolbox that they're able to pull out when they need to.
We'll have to see, though. I mean, the Knights can pull this back. I don't think they're quite used to this sort of physicality.
Totally.
A little bit more structure, I think, is what they're used to.
Yeah, I would say so. And you know, Space Station Gaming, though, I mean, coming off that other semifinal, they're up 2-0 in the series now. Game number 3 here. Kind of a big difference maker. If they're able to get up 3-0 against the Knights, they're just looking solid. They've just been consistent all night, so, you know, things are looking in their favor, but the Pittsburgh Knights played fantastic in that first semifinal as well, so they just might have not been ready for the physicality that Space Station Gaming was ready to bring to them. There's Reddles tries to get the touch.
Oh.
Gyro, yeah, a little bit of a maybe perhaps miscommunication there on that one because it looked like a good opportunity for him.
Just a slight misfire that time around, but you know the Knights will. I'm sure they'll bounce back.
Totally.
They'll be able to, and it looks like they're playing extremely reactionary too. If ball's coming at them, they go for a touch, and that's it. And they don't necessarily looking for a great positioning, although usually when it's time to spread out, they do. It's just a very wild gameplay style, very unpredictable, even for the guys who have a bird's eye view like us.
Totally. Yeah, it's tough to know. I mean, it's one of those things playing at this speed and with this aggression just like that, plays can change in an instant. You get, you know, a demo like that, all of a sudden becomes a 3-on-2, and it's a totally different play than what was developing.
And it's almost like they get back to basics. Look, stay behind the ball, advance the ball.
Right. Sometimes you don't need to overcomplicate it more than that, especially when when a team's throwing like things kind of unpredictable at you. Just go back to the fundamentals and just kind of slow it down. Maybe play a little bit more patient. There's another demo, of course, typical on Gyro this time. A big bump from Reddles there.
You mentioned go back to basics and play patient. And that's the weird part about all this is they're not playing patient at all. This is frantic.
Right. Totally.
Organized chaos almost.
Another demo, Arsenal on Gyro this time, just to keep everyone up to date on the carnage. There's Reddles versus Simple in the corner. Reddles able to get it by him, but AXB was up for it to get the clear. Ball down towards Arsenal. Tries to juke out, missed. Doesn't develop into much of anything. Reddles is up for that save. AXB, nice play, nice touch to get that one off course. The Knights were looking pretty dominant onto that transition, but good play out of him. Arsenal gets it by 2. Mist has to go up for it. AXB back, keeps it on the offensive. Mist with a demo onto Arsenal. Sipical up off the ceiling, off the backboard, but Gyro
lost his grip.
Oh, that gives AXB the opportunity for another goal for Space Station Gaming. I think the first 2 games as well, they've been on the board first.
I believe so, yeah. And in that particular instance, though, Gyro got a little bit on the wrong side of the ball and it pushed him away from the wall. He didn't have enough boost to get back and get control of the car again. And that kind of opened things up for Space Station to go ahead and score that. The Knights weren't quite ready for something along those lines. So they were a little out of position and all that. So it's just little things that need to be cleaned up. Obviously, they're playing their hearts out at this point. It's almost like watching a hockey game.
Totally.
So how random things are.
Yeah, and you know, I wonder, because the Pittsburgh Knights kind of had that, you know, they started off the first semifinals kind of more fundamental based, like just making pass plays, kind of setting up, being a little more patient. And then towards the end against Rogue, like what was working for them against Rogue was being that more aggressive team. I wonder if they need to switch it back up against Space Station Gaming just to throw them a little bit of a change up and make them adjust to a different play style. Because going toe-to-toe with Space Station Gaming right now hasn't been, you know, like very fruitful for them. They've been struggling a little bit to keep pace with their style of play. So be interesting to see if they're able to make that adjustment or not. But right now, Space Station Gaming still looking pretty solid. As we near the 1-minute mark, Space Station Gaming maintains that 1-goal lead. We'll see if Arsenal can sneak it by Reddles. Good save out of him.
Yeah, it was a fantastic save. Actually quite patient on the save there. And it seems like the Knights are kind of getting back to what you're talking about. They're not really pushing this subject too much. We're seeing less demos. And they're starting to concentrate a little bit more. But they don't have any shots on the board. 4 minutes, 0 shots. Finally, one towards the net. Doesn't quite make it. Missed coming through.
Wow. comes Reynolds again. Ooh, a little bit of a miss. AXB has been so solid on defense, too. Just his presence has been great. I mean, a great fallback. If you're Space Station Gaming and you have him on your squad, you're like, yeah, I feel pretty confident on defense. Like, we can kind of extend and play a little bit more aggressive, knowing that the touches out of him are just going to be so pure. Here comes Gyro with an opportunity. Has to get it past Typical. AXB rushing back and wraps around. Arsenal with a demo under Reddles, going to slow down that offense a little bit. 15 seconds now remaining. Space Station Gaming still maintains the 1-goal lead. Shot out of Gyro, save out of Sipical. Arsenal up for it, but missed off the backboard. Can we get something set up? Sipical again. A great block there. Ball up now. Sipical with the touch, gonna kill that one.
It is.
Space Station Gaming now up 3-0 over the Pittsburgh Knights.
Close games though, very close.
Totally.
Games.
Oh, I think they've all been 1-goal wins.
Yeah.
And this is the first one that's been under two total goals.
Right, exactly. And the Knights, though, they didn't have any shots on the board until like the last minute and a half or so.
Yeah.
So something definitely going on there. Space Station has been doing a really good job of shutting down shooting lanes. They're challenging every ball. They're challenging every single time that the Knights have the ball. So in most cases, that's exactly what you want to do. It's just that Space Station is really coming out strong against every single time they do this.
Right.
So is it odd for the Knights to be basically shut out there for the first 4 minutes of a game? Yes, definitely. I'm not saying they're not giving up or anything. They're literally just being shut down. Space Station is shutting down every single shooting lane. They're challenging everything. It sounds so simple, but look, it's working.
Right. It's one of those things. It's nothing against the Pittsburgh Knights. It's more in favor of Space Station Gaming. Like, they are playing so well that is something that could occur. Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to perform well in this grand final based on the semifinals and how they did. I didn't expect this coming out. This is very dominant on their part. And just with what the Pittsburgh Knights showed us in the first semifinal, yeah, and they've been close games, but just the control Space Station Gaming has been able to display, I think, is something that I didn't expect them to be able to do while playing so aggressive. Here we go. Gyro with the touch. Tries to get it. Empty net.
Open net.
There we go. Pittsburgh Knights finding the first goal here in game number 4. So now they've got a little bit of a chance.
Bumps. Reddles on AXB right there. Just completely shattered AXB's hopes of getting into a defensive position at all. That was actually well done. It was a good heads-up play there by Reddles. And, of course, Gyro putting it away. That always helps.
Totally.
Missed shot.
Ooh,
man, crossbar.
Man, a quick 2 out of the Pittsburgh Knights like that definitely would have made me reconsider my position on how strong Space Station Gaming looked. Maybe they are just making those adjustments. It seems like they're going for a little bit more pass play, and there it is. Gyro over to Reddles, going to get 2 quick ones on the board for the Knights.
It's pretty simple pass play, but for some reason, Space Station is not shutting down those shooting lanes at all. It seems like they've lost track of where the Knights are. And granted, the Knights aren't playing their game anymore, so the Knights aren't playing the Space Station game anymore. They're starting to play their own game.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's definitely changing the landscape of this grand final. Although a nice long shot here. That is on target. AXB's going to have to get that. He does. Gyro and Reddles to challenge. Demo. And Arsenal on the pickup. Shut down by Mist. Right at the midfield. We're starting to see that ball slowly make its way over to the Knights' side. Space Station does have a chance here.
Yeah, Space Station definitely not out of it. Here's Sipical slowing it down just a little bit. Pass over to Arsenal, but a nice denial by Reddles. Ball off the sidewall, finds AXB and Reddles battling for it. Shot up. Gyro has to get the touch, is able to do so. Missed now in the corner, but Arsenal contests. Centers the ball back up. AXB tried to make an attempt for it. Now on Sipical to get back. Is able to do that. Here's AXB. Carrying it past midfield. Tries to get it by Gyro. That ball going to bounce down and find its way into the hands of Reddles. Sent back, though, by Space Station Gaming. And yeah, seems like I'm not sure if... Oh, there we go.
There it is.
I was going to say, Space Station Gaming kind of playing a little bit more patient as well, kind of adjusting to that Pittsburgh Knights style a little bit, and finds a nice little pass to Arsenal and in.
And Arsenal, he was naturally up there anyways. So that's just a good heads-up play from all of Space Station, getting the ball to someone who's open.
Totally. So now Space Station Gaming able to cut down the lead, and the quick lead from the Pittsburgh Knights not looking as solid. Sipical almost gets that one in. Is there a follow-up?
No, AXB was demoed.
Oh! I don't know why I should have expected someone to have been demoed.
Yeah.
There we go. AXB up, has to go up for it. Sipical now in that corner. Gets the clear. Arsenal from the corner. Another tap. Sipical with a shot attempt. Gyro with a save. Ball back at the 50. Great touch from AXB, but Miss going to be able to clear that one. Sipical now versus Reddles on the 50-50. Sipical gets it through. Arsenal gets another touch. Can he get it past Gyro? Ooh! Wow. The persistence from Space Station Gaming on that play was incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Arsenal got the bump on Gyro. Reddles on a big miss there. And you might as well triple commit at that point because no one was moving on the Knights side. They were just completely stuck in their own net. Got a little bit caught out there by the aggression, and Space Station took advantage. It's exactly what you have to do here. Less than 2 minutes left. We're tied up. Deuce is wild. Pass over to Reddles, not going to happen. Luckily, Gyro is back for the Knights.
Man, I got to think if you're the Pittsburgh Knights right now, the beginning of this game looked so solid, so in your favor. They were able to make those adjustments that we thought might help them kind of edge out this game number 4 here, but Space Station Gaming just answered back so quickly. Able to get the read on the Knights, what they were going for, and kind of shut them down and adjust. Great touch out of Arsenal to pop that one up. AXB over to Sipical now. Sipical halfway, meets Reddles in the corner, sends it up. Can Arsenal get the touch? Arsenal gets the demo on a missed, so that's going to be Sipical up for it again, but back into the blue corner. Now we're at 1 minute remaining. Space Station Gaming all over this offense right here. Good little touch from the Pittsburgh Knights to try to slow this one down. Sipical, though, drops it down, gets a shot on net, but Gyro with the save. And AXB again with the touch up off the backboard. Arsenal a little wide. Sipical now meeting it halfway. Pops it straight up. Missed. Can he get it past AXB? But Arsenal underneath.
Good cover. Good cover by Arsenal. That was a great rotation.
And at this point,
spotted. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, I wonder if Space Station Gaming is going to try to get aggressive or just maintain.
Or do that.
Oh, or missed. Able to get the touch and the goal.
Right here, Gyro just kind of moving the ball towards around, and AXB slightly lost control of that, tried to get some speed on it, missed reading it perfectly, getting that flip in, the side flip over to make sure that he did what Skippy always tells you to do.
Barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. All right. So 10 seconds left. Space Station Gaming needs this one. Ball's at the net. Missed. Does have the touch. Clock winding down. This might be the Pittsburgh Knights' opportunity to take one game away from Space Station. Arsenal, though, up for it.
Wait for it.
Gyro tries to get the clear. Ball not dead yet. Hard touch off the sidewall, and that's going to be Knights here taking game number 4 against Space Station.
Good, honestly, right there, missed, and the aggression at the end paid off big time. The Knights didn't want to go down that way, didn't want to have the overtime happen either, so I thought that was well done all around. The Knights didn't really have as many shots or anything like that, but they had a lot of saves. Their normal aggression was just not there, and it worked out well because, like you said, throw the changeup.
Yeah.
Well, they threw the changeup, and it was a little tough because Space Station is usually so aggressive, but Space Station started to play to the Knights' lead, if you will. So Space Station kind of fell into the trap.
Yeah. They tried to match them. Right.
Like they tried to recover. They tried to get aggressive again, and it just didn't work.
And at that point, like between the goal, Mist was able to sneak off of AXB's kind of mistouch and them trying to catch up to that play style. There just wasn't enough time left remaining for them to kind of catch up or close it out. So the Knights were able to take that one, but we'll have to see now. Going into this game, what these teams bring, if they're going to stick with that similar game plan or try to change it up yet again. We're kind of in that heady meta now where it's like, do you change it up, or is the change up the not changing it up that changes it up?
Yes.
Totally. So here we go. Game number 5. Sypical sends it down range.
Oh!
He's just sending these long bombs just on target that kind of sneak by everybody.
Oh, gyro got bumped. That's what happened.
Okay.
This wasn't quite there. Yeah, I didn't bump until the very end right there. Just under the camera on the replay. So I didn't see who actually bumped him, but it was well-timed. That's exactly how Space Station has been playing all the way through. So Arsenal is here looking for the bump. No, a shot comes through and missed. Able to knock it away again. So the Knights going to have to step up their defensive game if they want to knock down Space Station one more time. And they got a long road ahead of them, too. They're going to have to reverse sweep. And as much as I think the term is used too much, it's exactly what's going to happen. Or
Right.
have to, I should say.
Yeah.
If they want to take home the $1,500.
It's their only option at this point. Space Station Gaming is on match point. They just need one here. So, yeah, if the Pittsburgh Knights want to claim all of these points and the $1,500 in the Astronaut Star Circuit, they got to reverse sweep. But Space Station Gaming keen on making that as difficult as possible for them, as they have a
big
2-goal
demo, too.
lead now.
And Arsenal got careened off in a perfect position. A great recovery indeed. Just keeping his head about him, and was able to recover well and very quickly instead of just flipping off into the distance. Perfect. I admire that, actually.
Oh,
The
for
skill
sure.
it takes to do that is something that takes a long time to learn,
Yeah. There's a
especially for it to become a second nature sort of thing, instinctual.
to where you're not, yeah, the only way that play
gotta
works
think
is if it's instinct, right? You don't have enough time to think about it.
You can't think about it. You just got to do it. And the skill and the practice it takes to get to that level is astronomical. I think that really demonstrates the kind of skill that these 6 players have compared to, say, the normal player base who don't play competitive. Competitive Rocket League like this, I should say.
Yeah, you're talking about the top end of the bell curve, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. This is the top 0.0001%.
I'm just amazed at how much control Space Station Gaming has been able to display here in game number 5. I mean, they look great.
Oh!
There's a shot attempt from Sypical, missed though. A great save there as well. And then they're right back on defense. Here's Arsenal and AXB in net as Sypical shows up to the party as well. Sypical again with a touch. Arsenal's in that blue corner, able to steal some boost. There's AXB versus Mist and Gyro. Ball is up. Mist able to pinch down on it, but Arsenal wants to get something going here for Space Station Gaming yet again. Halfway point, Space Station Gaming still at that 2-0 lead. Pittsburgh Knights just, I mean, having some difficulty getting stuff going and really maintaining possession for a long time. See a little scuffle in the corner there. Arsenal going to come out on top, come off of that sidewall, try to get it past Mist and Gyro. Arsenal with the demo onto Rettles now, going to slow down that Pittsburgh Knights offense. Grabs a little bit of Mist out of Arsenal's there. Ball going to come down into the corner. AXB, realizing that the Pittsburgh Knights wanted to slow it down, instead decides to speed it up. Missed though. Almost gets it past Arsenal, and Sypical again with a demo onto Gyro. Seems like Space Station Gaming able to recognize that once Pittsburgh Knights wants to get some offense going, all they need to do is, well, take out one of their players, and that kind of kills all momentum they have.
Most of the momentum, yeah. It really comes down to, again, the tactics. You got to make sure you get the right guy, because you're going to stick one of your guys out into an odd spot as well. So if you're not properly defended and you go for a demo, it can bite you. That's the thing. I mean, these guys are just getting it dead on, and they're going for demos left and right. And you can see they're going for the second man demo, too. Not going for the guy who's headed back. They're going for the guy who's trying to set up for the shot.
We near the 1-minute mark. Space Station Gaming still holding on to that 2-goal lead. Pittsburgh Knights, though, still has some time to get something going. I mean, if they get a quick one here, definitely still in it. The dream is still alive for them, but of course, Space Station Gaming on match point in the grand finals here. the Astronaut Star Circuit. And they're playing like they're looking to close this one out. Sypical versus Reddles in the corner. Yeah. Mist, though, has gotten some great touches, especially in these last 2 games. We saw that great goal out of him in the prior game, and kind of a key playmaker, at least in these transitions. There he is, another touch over to Gyro. Gyro and Mist again. Sets up Reddles. Arsenal's there for a touch, though.
And oddly, Mist and Gyro going for that screenplay, too, in case someone came flying through to try to save it. But it turns out the guy in the net was actually able to track that well. As time starts to wind down, Space Station looking to close this out nicely, put a nice little neat bow on it. There you go. Ball touches the ground. Frank, what a grand final.
Man, I gotta...
Close games, but man, Michael Bay-esque indeed.
Especially the first 2 games. Like, shocked at how aggressive, how many demos were out on the field. I lost track basically every game that was being played. But I gotta say, the Astronauts Star Circuit kickoff tournament gonna be won by Space Station Gaming tonight, and they played so well.
Yeah.
They were able to adapt to kind of everything so quickly too, and I think that was really the key plays out of them is that, you know, the Pittsburgh Knights tried to slow it down, and they were on top of it. You know, Pittsburgh Knights only able to take 1 game away from him in that final best of 7 in the grand finals, and yeah, I think that's just testament to how Space Station Gaming was playing tonight, and that was extremely well. And out of the entire squad, I mean, we saw so many great touches from AXB, especially on defense. Sypical was able to find these long-range snipes and just get goals kind of seemingly out of nowhere when he needed to. And then Arsenal kind of playing that backbone and a little bit of Phil, kind of just was the flex player, was in great positions when he needed to be, able to get goals when he needed to, and just kind of all around pretty solid. So with this first tournament in the books with the Astronaut Star Circuit, I got to say congratulations to Space Station Gaming especially, but, you know, hard fought with all of the teams here.